Okay, so we've just woken up and some of the carpenters have come over and shouted Bibi lava, which is Malagasy for snake, and apparently it's a very big one. So we're running over to investigate and see what it is. Bibi lava?
So far in St. Luce, we've had our fair share of snakes. However, there was one snake I still had yet to see. A boa constrictor. Madagascar's largest snake.
Okay, so in Madagascar, there's two varieties of boas. We have the ground boas and the tree boas. Ground boas are generally much bigger, averaging about 2.5 meters, and some even exceed 3 meters. And the tree boas are much smaller, averaging around 1.5 meters.
Boas, however, are nocturnal, so it meant we had to wait until night fell upon the forest. The search began, and it wasn't off to the greatest start, as we were then drenched in rain.
So in an attempt to find the animal, the rains have suddenly opened up and it's really heavy at the moment, so we're all just cramped ourselves in this tiny little hut, waiting for the rain to go away.
But typically, it didn't.
Okay, it is now really late and we haven't found any boas to date, so before it starts raining again, we're going to quickly dash back to camp.
Okay, so our first attempt was pretty unsuccessful, but that didn't stop us from going out on other nights.
Okay, so this is optimal hiding place for boas, particularly ground boas. It's in between the V's of these large buttress roots. It's sheltered, and with lots of leaf litter it provides a great camouflage for them. There pretty much is no boa under here typically, but there is quite a cute frog just down here. Yeah, but as I say, that's not what we're looking for. We're looking for boas. So, let's go. Oh, okay, so we're finally at the north limit. This is probably one of the more secluded parts of the reserve where not many of us actually come on in terms of night walks. But this is apparently where Nam and Rene see a fair amount of boas in the forest. So, well, there's only one way to find out, isn't there? Okay, so this is the path that Rene and Nam showed us during the day. It looks far more unwelcoming at night, but, well, in there's some giant snakes, so let's go.
Boas are incredibly difficult to find, and all we seemed to come across was just frogs and chameleons. However, we did later come across another species of snake. This was an adult Malagasy tree snake, and it was making its way up to the canopy in order to hunt. Whilst attractive to observe, this wasn't the species of snake we were looking for, and after many more attempts, we worked out that going out to find the boas was unsuccessful, and instead, you'd have to wait for them to find you.
Okay, so we've just woken up and some of the carpenters have come over and shouted Bibi lava, which is Malagasy for snake, and apparently it's a very big one. So we're running over to investigate and see what it is. Bibi lava?
It was an impressive Dummerell's ground boa, one of Madagascar's top predators, primarily eating rodents and even small lemurs.
Okay, so after weeks of searching for a boa, one of our carpenters happened to come across this absolute beauty in the forest. Now it's not quite as big as the sort of ground boas we were looking for, but God, just look at its patterns. It is absolutely stunning. So I don't need to worry about it biting me, as it's not actually a venomous snake. It's a constrictor, meaning it'll wrap its huge muscular coils around its prey and will squeeze essentially the life out of them. So they stop breathing and eventually their heart stops. But thankfully these large titans are not aggressive, they are relatively docile.
We admired this snake for some time before letting it go. The presence of boa constrictors in Madagascar has been a bit of a scientific mystery, as large boa constrictors are predominantly found in South America. However, the boas in Madagascar were thought to have descended from a small splinter group of tiny sand boas in mainland Africa. The boa slinked away and ended up coiling underneath a tree, away from our presence. A week later, we also came across the other type of boa, a Malagasy tree boa. It was significantly smaller than a ground boa, however arguably boasted more attractive colours, with a charming green and white, rather than different shades of brown. This snake owns the canopy at night. It hunts for small rodents and lizards. Around the boa's mouth is a row of small heat-sensing pits that allows the boa to detect warm-blooded mammals in total darkness. Seeing these spectacular beasts in the wild really was amazing, and I'm happy to say that our hunt for boas was very successful. But now posed an even more difficult task, and that was finding Madagascar's mammalian carnivores, the eupleurids, that are far more elusive than the reptilian predators we've met on this episode. So will we find them? Stay tuned for more.